All right, I think every year I teach this course, this question comes up by someone. So what we've got is a suspension cable over a bridge, okay? And the key information they give us about it is minimum height of the cable above the roadway is 30 meters. So this is the roadway along here, and the minimum height is this here, that's going to be 30. And I know that the distance of the cable is 180, so to the midpoint is going to be 90. So it's going to have a turning point of 90, and 30 up, so 90, 30. And I also know that the height, or the maximum height above the roadway, is going to be 75, so it's got a coordinate 0, 75. So now we're ready to write our rule. Y equals A, x take h all squared plus k is the form I'm going to use, where the turning point is x take 90 all squared plus 30. Now I'm going to sub this point in here, so it's going to be 75 equals 9 9s are 81, 0, 0 plus 30. That's going to be 45 equals 8100 A. A equals 45 over 8100. Let's just get the calc to simp this one. I'm just pulling up the calc now. 45 over 8100 is 1 on 180. So A equals 1 on 180. Therefore, our rule is Y equals 1 on 180. X take 90 all squared plus 30. Okay, next. A parabola has the same shape as y equals 2x squared, but it has a different turning point. And what we want to do is write its equation. So 2x squared is going to look like that with some sort of a dilation factor, or 2 is the dilation factor. And what we're going to do is just shift this 1 unit to the right and 2 units down. So instead of turning at 0, 0, it's going to turn at 1, negative 2. That's where it's going to turn. So it's going to have the same dilation factor, which is 2, x take 1, all squared, take 2. Write down 4 quadratic rules that have graphs similar to those. Okay, so let's go, A, I presume, is this blue one. So let's do that first. Okay, so A has 2 x-intercepts. So what I'm going to do is write it as y equals A, x plus 4, x take 10. And I'm just going to presume that it goes through when x is 0, y is 2. So I'm going to sub that in. 2 equals A, 4, negative 10. 2 equals negative 40A. A equals negative 1 over 20. Therefore, my function is y equals negative 1 over 20, x plus 4, x take 10. Right, let's go with B. Which one's B? I think B is actually the blue one. Right? I'm going to presume that B is this red one here. Okay. So that one's going to also take the form of intercepts, where we've got x as one of the intercepts, because that's going to be x is equal to 0, and x take 10. And we need another point that it goes through. This is a bit loose, but I'm going to presume it goes through negative 2, 2. But that's a bit dodgy to do that. But I can't see any other way of doing it. The turning point, like, is that the turning point? Negative 5. I don't know, that's a bit dodgy, this question here. I'm not confident where this second point is going to come from. Let's just assume it goes through negative 2, 2, but this is a big assumption. All right, let's just go ahead and sub it in. It might be right, it might be wrong, but we'd make it very clear for you what the second point was going to be if I publish this question anyway. So we've got 2 equals a, -2, -12 after I substitute -2 in there. 2 equals -2 times 12 is 24a. A equals 1 on 12. So I believe the function could be y equals 1/12 x take 10. All right, the third one. Now what I'm going to do is just get rid of that working out and do C. So C uses the turning point here, which is pretty clear. That's going to be a x take 6 all squared plus 6. Then I'm going to sub what is the y-intercept. That's going to be 8 equals a -6 squared plus 6 because I've subbed in x is equal to 0. That's going to be 2 equals 36a. A equals 1 on 18. Therefore, my function is y equals 1 on 18 x take 6 all squared plus 6. All right, the last one has a turning point on the x-axis, so we're assuming it's a perfect square. So it's going to be y equals a x take 8 all squared. Now we need a second point, so let's just see if there's one clear. Not really. Like, is that -4 there? That might be a big stretch to presume that that's the case, but let's just do it. Again, questions should be written a little bit better. -4 equals a, -2 squared. -4 equals 4a. A equals -1. Therefore, my function could be negative x take 8 all squared. Find quadratic expressions which could represent the two curves, given that the coefficient of x is 1 in each case. Ooh, what to do with this one? All right, well, let's do curve A first of all, this one. So I'm going to say that we've got y equals a x take 2 all squared plus 3 is the turning point. Then substitute this one in here. So that's going to be when x is 0, y is 2, a -2 squared plus 3. That's -1 equals 4a. A is equal to -1 over 4. So therefore I believe that this one is y equals -1 over 4 x take 2 squared plus 3. Now let's just expand this out and confirm that the coefficient is 1 in each case. So it's going to be -1/4 x squared take 4x plus 4 plus 3. Okay, and you can see here what's going to happen is that is going to multiply with that. I'll just do it. -x squared on 4 plus 1x take, that's going to be -1/4 of 4, which is -1 plus 3. And you can see that I get that 1 as a coefficient. All right, the other function. All right, how are we going to do that one? So point C, so they've given us the y-intercept of this one and not much else. All right, let me pause this while I think about this one. Okay, All right, so the important thing to note is that they also give us b on this one as well. I'm going to get rid of the old working out. All right, so for this curve, or curve b, what do I know? I know that it's going to take the form y equals ax squared plus x, not bx, because I know that the coefficient here is 1, plus c. And what I'm going to do is just sub in point point c. Well, I don't need to sub it in actually. It's going to be y equals ax squared plus x take 5, because that's going to be the y-intercept, which means that if I substitute point B, which is 2, 1, this will give me the value of A. So I'm going to go 1 equals 4A plus 2 take 5, 1 equals 4A take 3, 4 equals 4A, A is equal to 1. Therefore, my function is y equals x squared plus x take 5. All right, and I believe this is the last one here. Which of the graphs shown could represent this this equation here? Okay, so that is a graph that has moved 4 units to the right and 3 units down and is upright. So, oh, excuse me, 4 to the right, 3 units down, and it goes through this one here. So let's do 4 squared is 16, 16 take 3, yep. So that function there must be this one. All right, this function here is, if I'm going to graph it, 4 units to the right, 3 units up, and it's inverted. So it has to be D. And that's it. Hope that explains it.